Matt, the farmer, life is beautiful. It's fine like this. It's fine like this. It's fine like this. Let's hope for the best. Nothing. This is hail. Damn it. Damn it. We're getting hit again. It's hail. It's hail. It's small. Come on. Let's hope it doesn't get bigger. It's hail. This, please. Heavy rain. I like it, but not hail, please. I'm barricaded in here. All right, fine. This part is pretty much gone. That's the point. 10% of the plants are safe, damaged, strong. 25% are in bad shape, and the others are gone. Thank God. I waited before doing anything. We're risking losing those, let's say the 10% and 25% that are like that. So it's raining, but every now and then hail comes down to the ground. It shouldn't cause damage like this, though. Girls, I don't know. Come on, girls. Come on. Nothing's going to happen. I have to go check the stakes inside the greenhouse because it's windy, you see, but it seems to be holding up by now. It doesn't matter. The second hailstorm just hit. 2 days later, I even made a nice video about how to react, how I reacted, and so on. Yeah, I'll show you what happened again. And after that, I have no words. No, now I'm laughing because, well, I'm here in the greenhouse. Everything is dark. Images are coming in. It should reach me in about 15 minutes. Here in Labrina, I'm in the greenhouse because they're planting tomatoes. I'm worried for a reason because the images I'm showing you are exactly a kilometer and a half, not even, from the vineyard. Now, I don't feel like going there and getting myself all worked up, also because if I go there, I'll start crying. Also pretty well, more or less. I mean, guys, I don't know what to do then. The first round of the storm is over. I don't know what the hell to call it. Here in Labrina, it didn't hit, but in Rodengo, it did. So I have the vineyard there in Gusago. It's a kilometer away. It did a lot of damage. I don't even know if I still have a vineyard there. In the distance, you can see the lightning, and there's a whole other mess happening. They're expecting it around 6:30. I can't do it just staying here. I'll show you the clips of how we tried to get everything back on its feet. It's good, I know, and that's fine, because we'll end on a positive note with the clips I made yesterday about how I was starting to bounce back. What a pain. Hey there, farmers. I hope everything's okay on day one after the huge hailstorm that basically destroyed everything. Let's go see all the actions we're going to take in the field, especially how to save everything as much as possible. Let's take a look at the more or less actual estimate of the damage, but most importantly, how to get ready, because they're saying there's going to be another hailstorm tomorrow night, and this could be a big problem. From an estimate I've made, let's say we find the seedlings of various vegetables, tomatoes, eggplants, zucchini, peppers, and so on and so on and so on. 3 different conditions. About 10% of all the seedlings, all things considered, are doing well, maybe a little uneven, a few gaps. But as you can see, they've survived, no one knows how, but without major damage. In this case, just do a good treatment and we should be fine. 25% of the plants are in this condition, so they've been affected because you see it's basically wrecked here. The branches have been cut off. But it could make it with a little help, treatments and so on, so it could recover 65% compared to all the other plants. Basically, they're gone. This is the situation, so naturally in this case they need to be replaced. There's nothing more we can do. So we have 2, let's say, possible scenarios. The first one where we have to try to take care of them as much as possible and try to increase the share of healthy plants. So from 10%, bring it up to at most 35%. We won't make it because some Duna won't survive, but maybe we can save about 25% in total, and the rest absolutely needs to be removed and replanted. But to do something like that, the biggest problem remains the weather. I already have a few plants in the nursery. My instinct would be to fix everything, but instead I have to stay still and constantly watch what to do, what to work on. I've also received a lot of questions about the vegetables, let's say damaged, about whether they could be salvaged, processed, or given to someone. What's the problem? That within a few days, even the lettuce is starting to turn necrotic. I mean, look, this is the bombarded leaf. This is just a few hours after the hailstorm. You see the damaged tissue is already starting to turn necrotic and rot. So it takes a huge amount of work, especially for harvesting. It's hard to say, but if you have a small vegetable garden and you can manage it, that's fine. But if you start having a lot of vegetables, it's a job you just can't do. Also because the selling price of a plant like this, combined with the costs we have, the harvesting and so on, unfortunately leads us to a loss. I don't know, like, look at these charts too. Come here. I don't know if you can see them. I mean, they've basically been smashed. This whole part here turns necrotic and you can't save anything, maybe a few, but not even that. Look, there aren't even any inner sprouts left. The rest is done by the insects, which, sensing some rotting material, well, they come to eat it. So the only solution here is to pull everything up and give it to the animals, but we probably won't even give it to the animals because it's too much altogether. It would just rot. We'll probably work the soil and restore it and start over from scratch, but let's wait a little longer. Right now, that's why I was telling you I'm talking a bit about money, about interventions, about human cost, because we're a farm. But above all, right now, even if you're doing it in your home garden, and what action would that be? The urge to react can make you waste even more energy and make whatever you do less effective. So it's double the discouragement. This thing kind of crushes you. Now let's go apply a treatment. I'm going to do it with a solution of propolis mixed with a series of nutrients and so on. It's specifically to help heal with the propolis. It doesn't just disinfect, let's say. Copper is more effective for disinfecting. The copper treatment was done right after the hailstorm, so after about 78 hours, now we're going to use the propolis so everything can heal properly. All the leafy vegetables are gone, so we're focusing on tomatoes, zucchini, eggplants, and so on, especially the ones that are a bit more expensive. Now let's try to heal what they've been through. It's as if we had cut an arm off. The biggest problem, once we've stopped the bleeding, which plants don't have, is that it gets infected, so we need something that disinfects well, especially every time we get more than 10 centimeters of rain. In this situation then, propolis and nutrients. We are trying to get the plant to put out new shoots and start growing again, and on the other hand to properly heal the wounds. In this case, we really make sure to wet it well. You have to be a little more careful. This is the row that, in quotes, suffered the least, even though it's still quite battered, and we're trying to save what we can. I'll leave you a list of products in the description that you can use in these situations. So something to, let's say, try to heal as much as possible, something else to nourish the disinfectant separately, so a base of zeolite, sulfur and copper. Instead, you can mix propolis and the nutrient together, and here we give it to them anyway, even if we'll remove it from the little plants, but it's fine, let's do it, let's water them well, let's give it to them. And then they called him Highlander. 1 leaf, 2, 3 leaves, the rest were gone. What a life. Then, by the way, the whole sales part fell through. We'll go do that. That'll be the last thing. Now let's fix up the vegetable garden. Now I'd say let's also go to the vineyard because we have to do all the treatment in the vineyard.
Hello. Hello. So,
I just finished the spray treatment, so what can I say? You can see the effects, right? I mean, or rather the damage from that battering. So let me try to explain the problem a bit. These here are our future grape clusters. Some things were barely touched in this case. You see it was totally cut. Some things were really cut in half, like this one I saw earlier. You see it's cut there. So the biggest problem here, at this moment with all these, there it is, I messed up with all these cuts, with all these wounds. Getting spores in there with everything that needs treating. We're here in Franciacorta dealing with it like desperate people. Tomorrow they're calling for hail again. I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. This is the day after the hail, and that's where we're at. It takes at least 4 days to see the damage, as that's when the shoots visibly dry out. Anyway, you can see they've been hit. I mean, you can see the marks they've taken. Look, they're all coming off. See, this is from the hail. If I'm not mistaken, this is hail. I mean, they're marked. Let's see what comes out. I also hope to share the wine with you this year too. Now, just from a rough estimate, I'd say we've lost about 30 to 40%. Again, I'm waiting before telling you for sure because it's hard to make an estimate at this moment. There are too many unknowns. I don't know anything. Here I tell you everything. How do you get back on your feet, or at least try to? Farmer life is beautiful.
Nice.
It's fine like this, fine like this, it's fine like this. Let's hope for the best. Come on.